start off. So yeah, a couple of seconds left, and we're gonna kickstart. Okay, guys. So, Workout Wednesday. Thanks for all of you who are joining me today. The session today is called Surges. So it's a session that's designed to develop your explosive power. So I'll come on to a bit of the theory behind how we do that and why this session is so good in a moment. So for those of you who are new to Workout Wednesday, my name is Matt Rowe. I'm a coach, founder and coach at Rowe & King. Rowe & King are a cycle coaching company. So we've been going for about 3 years now. The name Rowe & King, where does that come from? So Rowe happens to be my second name as well, so I'm a Rowe, one of many in the family. Alongside my brother Luke Rowe, who rides for Team Sky. And my dad, my father Courtney Rowe, who was our head coach. So that's kind of 3 Rows. And we've also got another Rowe in the company, Danny Rowe, but she was Danny King. So that's where the company name was born. Rowe & King was kind of Luke's name and Danny's name combined to form Rowe & King. So yeah, Danny won a gold at London Olympics. He's got a wealth of knowledge. So between the 4 of us and 3 other coaches we now work with, Ryan, Jake and Jody, yeah, we run Rowe & King. So yeah, hello to everyone who's here. So today's session, guys, we're a couple of minutes into our warm-up. We've still got another 5 minutes to go. And again, this part of the session, the first 7 minutes is all about warming up and getting ready for the session. So don't think of this as training per se. It's more, getting ready to train. So the nuts and bolts of the session, the real important part is the 3 6-minute blocks that we're going to complete. So the 3 6-minute blocks of surges. So 18 efforts in total, or 18 surges as we call them. Yeah, and they're all explosive power development type sessions. So, what is a surge? So a surge is, exactly as it says on the tin really. It's a surge in effort, a surge in power, a surge in speed. So it's an increase in your effort over a short period. And that period is 20 seconds. And we're going to start from a very low resistance. So coming into each 20-second surge, there's going to be a very low resistance applied, around 30% of your FTP. So it's going to be pretty easy to pedal. And then as soon as the effort kicks in, it's going to jump to 200% of your FTP. So within a split second, you're going to go from 30% resistance up to 200% resistance. And that replicates out on the road the feeling of doing a standing start basically. So from a rolling ride along on your bike with fairly big gear, a walking pace, that's how the effort starts, to making an explosive effort, so sprinting, but from that very low cadence, which is a very torque rich effort, we're going to accelerate, or we're going to surge, and yeah, produce a lot of power in an explosive nature. And that will last about 20 seconds. So the effort kind of finishes really either once you're maxed out cadence wise, so you just get on top of that gear and you're maxed out, or the 20 seconds is up. And then we've got 40 seconds to recover, and we go again. So yeah, it's pretty tough session, pretty physically demanding, especially because we're doing 18 of these efforts. So again, it's working on your kind of endurance side of your power. So think of any aspect of your training. It's think of it like a pyramid. So you always got to lay the foundations. So on a macro scale, you've got you develop your aerobic base, then develop your strength, power, and speed. But within each of those elements, you start off laying the foundations and then develop. So let's take power, what we're working on now. You need to develop your kind of longer term endurance power, as you call it. So making quite a lot of efforts, so 18 efforts, before later on in your training plan or training program, where we'd make less efforts, but we're able to really get the max effort out. Because again, if you haven't done this type of session before, it'll probably be quite alien to you, and it may sound strange, but you literally won't be able to get the effort out properly because your body's not used to it. So it's all about those kind of pathways from your brain sending signals to the rest of your body, so your muscles, your heart, legs, and the rest of your system, to say, right guys, we're going to make an effort. And you've got to kind of open those pathways up and train your body to make these efforts. So you should have quite a sweat on now, guys. We've got 1 minute left of this warm up, so you should be getting fairly warm. If you're not, feel free to press on a little bit more. Hello, hello. Got a message there from the guys at Zwift, just saying hey. So 35 seconds left, guys, and then we're going to have a minute easy to recover. And then we've got an activation sprint. So again, the activation sprint is just, again, because this session is explosive in nature, it's important that we are thoroughly warmed up. So when you're doing a fairly general session, I don't know, some long efforts, so 5-6 minute efforts, any threshold stuff, just over threshold, under threshold, all that type of stuff. There's no need to be, spend too long warming up, because you're going to warm up at the start of the effort, and because you're not making explosive efforts, there's a very low risk of injury. Whereas when we're making explosive efforts, such as today, that's when it's really important to make sure you are well warmed up before we make those efforts. So in 30 seconds time, guys, we're going to do a sprint, and the purpose of that sprint is to activate our muscles and start sending those signals from your brain to the rest of your body to say, right, wake up, we're going to make an effort here, you got to be ready, you got to have my back. So guys, 5 seconds, we're going to make a sprint. Here we go. Good job, good job. Good job, everyone. So now we're back into an easy minute before we start the first block of surges. So if you weren't feeling fully warmed up before the activation sprint, hopefully you are now. Now's your chance to have a quick drink. Good job, guys. Okie doke. So you'll feel, doing the session now, you can see my watts, 128 watts, so fairly low resistance. All of a sudden that's going to kick in. Here we go. Good job, guys, good job. So that's our first effort there. Now we've got 45 seconds rest. So again, coming into these efforts is a very low resistance, and we go from a low resistance where you're almost freewheeling, you can't feel anything, to making a flat out effort sprint. So in those first couple of pedal revs, that's where the magic happens. It's those first couple of pedal revs that are really explosive in nature, getting up to speed. So here comes number 2. Good job everyone, good job. That's effort number 2, surge number 2. Okay, 35 seconds left resting. So hopefully you feel the first couple of pedal revs. That's the hard bit. That's where the work's being done. And once you're up to speed, then the real explosive part of the effort's over, and there shouldn't be too much resistance applied. So it's all about the first part of each of these surges. Okay, number 3, let's go. Good job everyone, good job. And again, if you haven't done these type of efforts before, they may be quite alien to you, and it may be, maybe quite hard to hit the power, and it may just not feel very comfortable. But stick with it, because if this is your weakness, you're going to make huge gains by doing this session. Most people can go out and ride steady zone 2, zone 3 for quite a long time, but this is the type of effort that makes a difference, that makes us really explosive. Okay, number 4, let's go. Whew. Good job everyone, good job. Now every effort in these blocks, guys, equally important as each other.
To that side, even though it's stronger, start to hit the line a little bit. So there, you just take the weight down a little bit. Okay, so take the weight down.
Sorry about that bit of audio in the background. Okay guys, 10 seconds, we're going again. Number 5 in the block. Let's make it count everyone. Just really stamp on those pedals, let's go. Whoop. Good job everyone. Awesome. I'm sure if we combined all our watts together, we'd probably be able to light a small town up. Maybe a lot of light bulbs. Okay guys, we've got one more surge in this block. And that's block 1 done then guys. Just remember, it's the first few pedal revs of these efforts that we're really trying to capitalise on. Those explosive first few pedal revs. Here we go. Good job everyone. Good job. That is block 1 complete. Block 1 done. So we've got 3 minutes or so now, just nice and easy to recover. Okay, and John, these efforts, you know, in terms of in the saddle or out the saddle, I say whatever you feel comfortable with. All we're trying to do is to stimulate those muscles, you know, to their max in those first few pedal revs. So if you're going to struggle to do that in the saddle, and you feel like you need to get out the saddle, you do that. Me personally, again, it's my riding style, my sprinting style. I'm very much in the saddle, so I tend to do sprint seated. But if you feel more comfortable doing them out the saddle, that's absolutely fine. So guys, 2 minutes 40 to recover here, and then we're into block 2. Good job. So, you know, whether no matter what your goals are in cycling, you should be going through a series of phases to, you know, as a bike rider. So, whether your goal is to race and compete, or whether it's to simply become, you know, fitter, faster, stronger with your friends on a club run, or whether you want to target a big sportif, you're going to need to go through certain phases in order to, you know, develop and get stronger in a structured way, in the most efficient way. And it all starts with becoming strong. So you develop your strength, and that is a prerequisite of being powerful in anything further. So first off is your strength. So we become a strong athlete, and that's literally your raw strength. So lots of low cadence work, like we've been doing over the past 2 months or so on Workout Wednesday, and now we're kind of moving into a power phase. So the theory goes, you can't be powerful unless you're strong. So you need that raw strength to be able to produce that power. So in the first few seconds of that effort just then, and when you're really clawing at every muscle fibre you've got in your legs, trying to turn those pedals round, if your muscles aren't strong, then you're never going to produce much power. So it all starts with strength. Strength and power, like today, and after we've done, you know, been through a phase of developing your power, then we work on developing speed. And speed is a combination of force applied, so the power times cadence. So basically you're trying to produce, you know, a powerful pedaling stroke with lots of muscle mass, you know, turning those pedals round, and you're trying to pedal those pedals round or turn those pedals as quick as possible. So cadence, and that is the magic formula. You know, trying to be powerful but turn those pedals fast, and that's where speed comes in. So guys, we've got another 10 seconds and we're into block 2, effort 1 of block 2. Here we go. Big first few pedal revs, guys. Good job. Good job. So those first few pedal revs really should feel left leg, right leg, really stamping on those pedals just to get up to speed. Just trying to exert as much power through those pedals as possible. Good job. Okay, next one in 21 seconds. Okay guys, here we go. Up, 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 up. Good effort everyone, good effort. Okay guys, 30 seconds, we go again. And just remember, it's those first few pedal revs of each effort. It's trying to be explosive in nature. So imagine you're on the start line in a 100-meter bike race. You've got to get off that line as quick as you can, out those blocks as quick as you can. Here we go, 3 seconds. First few pedal revs. Whoop! Good job. Oh, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. So if you're finding these efforts a bit tough, on the left hand side you've got 2 arrows. You can hit the down arrow to make the session slightly easier for yourself. Or if you're finding you're getting up on top of the power too easily, so the session's a little bit easy, and you're not really able to produce that max effort straight away, then press the up arrow to make it a little bit harder, and that'll just apply a bit more resistance to you. Okay, here we go. Up. Good job, everyone. Good job. We're just over halfway now through these surges. Good efforts. So 25 seconds we go into our 5th effort of block 2. So that's 10 efforts done now, guys, 8 to go. Over halfway. There's max effort these first few pedal revs, everyone. Max effort. Up. Oh, that was a tough one. And you'll feel the cumulative fatigue building up. So the first effort may be the easiest, and after back end of the 2nd block where we are now, into the 3rd block, you'll probably start feeling a bit harder. So it's harder to get on top of that gear initially, as you're lacking that explosive power and critically that endurance element of your power. So naturally we can all produce one sprint, but producing those repetitions that's hard. Okay, up! Good job, everyone. Okay, that's block 2 done. So a couple of minutes easy now, just to recover. And then we're into the 3rd block. And make sure your fan's on, you've got your drink handy, because again you'll be producing a lot of sweat, so losing a lot of liquids. So make sure you're keeping those topped up. Oh, good job, everyone. So that is 12 surges complete now. That's 12 max explosive efforts that we've made, which is no mean feat. So good job, everyone. We've got one more block to go. Then we've got a little bonus block. So trying to translate this session and the benefits of being explosive into your everyday ride or event, let's take a local race. You know, if you're familiar with the category system in the UK, let's take a second and third category race, which is kind of your good solid amateur category, where I guess most of the riders in the UK fall into. So a typical race is going to be obviously big group, bowling around, big peloton, and off the front of that group you can have people making attacks, following attacks, making surges or accelerations out of bends, over the top of hills. You may have to make an explosive effort to jump across a small gap. In all these circumstances, this is where you're going to rely on your explosive power. So it's only really at the end of a race where your speed is massively important. Obviously for the general rhythm of the race, so the general the speed that the peloton travels, you're going to need to produce or need to have a certain element of speed in your legs just to be able to absorb that 40 plus k an hour pace. But it's really your explosive power that's going to make the difference between those riders who are there at the end and in the right place at the right time and not. And often, if you can make that one explosive effort to latch onto a group, and that group then works well together and gets away, it's that initial explosive effort for maybe 20-30 seconds that would have made a difference between you making the group or making the breakaway and not. So again, this really is a session that's applicable to everyone. Oh, and I've got a good old sweat on now. I hope you all have too. So, block 3, here we go. Effort 1, whoop. Good job, everyone. But don't forget, it's those first few pedal revs we're really looking for here. Those first few pedal revs where the effort is really explosive. Just lean on those pedals. Just get that power out. You can tense your body up. Stay strong. Stay firm. Activating your core and just get those watts out. Get up to speed. Really explosive, doing whatever you can. Whoop. Good job, everyone. Oh, nice, 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 nice. So again, you're probably starting to feel a bit more fatigued now and finding these efforts perhaps slightly harder than you were at the start, but that's normal, and that is the purpose of this session. So it's working on your muscular endurance as well as your pure explosive power. So over those repeated efforts, here we go. Well done, everyone. So it's over these repeated efforts that we're going to have that cumulative fatigue build up. Oh man. So guys, 25 seconds and we go again. 3 more efforts, 3 more surges. On the B of the band, guys. As soon as the effort starts, boom, into it we go. Good effort, guys, well done. Whoa, fantastic. Fantastic efforts. I've seen some big numbers on the right in terms of watts per kilo. Big numbers. I think I saw someone with 14 then, which is outstanding. That's simply lovely. Simply lovely. Okay guys, effort 5, got 2 more to go. 2 more to go. Here we go. Up. Nice one, good work. Good work, everyone. Up. Good job, good job. Oh, so guys, awesome. So we got a cool a little rest now. Little 3 minutes just to shake the legs and start to recover a bit. Then we got 1 more block of effort. And it's 12 minutes. 12 minutes at what we call sweet spot. So this is just to round our session off. And as we're in the start of the season for many, especially in the northern hemisphere anyway, we always got to make sure we maintain the focus on developing our aerobic base. So that's what some people would call kind of endurance and winter miles. It's that all-round sense of fitness. So, aerobic base coupled with some explosive power efforts. That's gonna do lots of things for you, but first and foremost, it's gonna make you a pretty fit rider. And you've got to be fit to enable you to train hard and absorb the workload from future sessions. So, the fitter you are, the harder you can train. And this session is, it is obviously specific, and that we've completed 18 short, sharp, explosive power efforts. But on top of that, we are really keeping on top of the general fitness, the aerobic base that is ever so important. If you haven't got time to go out and spend 2.5, 3.5, and longer hours on the road, then this is the best way to get the same physiological benefits without going outside for that many hours. So jump on Zwift, bit of sweet spot, over and under threshold efforts. It's all fantastic to help you develop that aerobic base, which is It's something that we all need. So yeah, good job everyone. So you got 1 minute 15 seconds left, and then we're going into our last block. And our last block, as I said, is 12 minutes. It's a long one, and it is a consistent effort of 90% of your FTP. So for me, that equates to 290 watts. I want to keep that going for the duration. In terms of cadence, don't worry too much about your cadence. You know, this isn't. We're not going to continue working on strength anymore. This is going to be simply developing an aerobic base. So if you want to, you know, ride at your chosen cadence, whether that is, you know, 80 revs, 90 revs a minute, whatever it is, you know, that's where you ride, wherever feels comfortable. Because after these 18 short efforts that we completed, the legs will be fatigued, so this will feel quite hard. But don't be put off. You know, we're only on the turbo here, only on Zwift for 53 minutes. So let's make sure we make every second count. And the way we do that is by training smartly, not more. So talking of more, we're talking smartly. Let's go, guys. So you're going to settle into that 290 watts now. Settle into that rhythm. And you're just going to sit there. Try and stay as composed as possible and just absorb that workload. So try and picture yourself like a well-oiled machine. Just sitting there, left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg. You know, pump those legs like pistons. Nice and efficient, nice and smooth. And just absorb that workload. And again, use whatever cadence you feel comfortable at. So if you wanted to introduce a strength element to this block of sweet spot, which again is a great session to complete, especially out of the season or just before you start the season, you'd complete this same session, same intensity, but at a low cadence. So, you know, 55, 60 revs a minute is what I'd recommend. You need to focus on pedaling around 360 degrees of the stroke. Just trying to engage as many muscle fibers as you can. So pushing the pedals down, dragging the pedals up, around that whole stroke. And you know, this is really laying the foundations then for future sessions that we complete. So the more workload you can absorb, obviously the more work you can get done, ultimately the fitter and the stronger you get. You know, it's not a linear relationship between amount of training and form development. Otherwise we'd all live on Zwift, live on our bike. There is a, pardon the pun, but there is a sweet spot for the amount of training to complete in order to get the best gains for you, or the most gains for you personally. And again, that all depends on your individual goals, circumstance, your current level of fitness, and so on. So guys, just absorb that effort. Just sitting there, taking it on. That's good. 9.5 minutes to go. And if you're finding this part of the session really demanding, that may be telling you this is your weakness. So maybe worth considering spending more time doing it as opposed to neglecting it because it's hard and it's that tricky session. Now let's take a step back and try to evaluate, you know, what riding are you doing? So what training are you doing? What are you trying to achieve? So if you're trying to achieve, you know, develop your sprint, you know, have you gone through a phase developing your strength, power, and are you now working on your speed? Or have you jumped straight to the end position and trying to work on your speed from day one? going about your training in a structured way is definitely going to give you more sustainable form, that's for sure. So once you do hit good form and you do have good legs, they'll certainly stay with you a lot longer. And the chances are the highs that you reach will be that much higher as well. That's it, guys, just keep that composure. 4.5 minutes in now. It's easy to let your composure go. Just sit there nice and smooth. Let all that power development come from your waist down. So it's all through your legs. So whereas in the explosive power efforts we were trying to to produce power almost by any means necessary. So tensing your body and put it on the bars. That's all fine, just to exert that extra force. But in this session, it's all about trying to become more efficient. So, hands resting lightly on the bars, and just letting that workload absorb into the legs. Coming up to halfway now, guys. Good job. This sustained effort, you're going to be producing a lot of sweat as we're working hard. So keep replenishing those liquids. Okay, guys, that's halfway of this block, a sweet spot. Keep your body still, just absorb it. That's good. And what your body's doing here when we're riding that sweet spot is just again making you a real efficient athlete. So we're producing more mitochondria in the cells, and that part of the cells, the mitochondria part of the cell, is kind of the powerhouse of the cell. So that's what takes the nutrients that you feed yourself, so the food, and converts that to energy. And the more of those cells you can create means the better your ability to generate energy, and it builds your all-round base of fitness. So to translate that into what you'll feel on the road, you'll just feel an all-round fitter, stronger athlete, and should be able to ride at higher intensity for longer. So again, this does develop your threshold. So everyone talks about FTP, what's your threshold, and how to develop that. Again, riding at sweet spot is definitely a good way to develop or increase your FTP and threshold, which is kind of a golden metric for many cyclists. Gordon says he's not feeling sweet. So less than 4 minutes to go now, guys. That's good. Just stick with it. So I built up a bit of oxygen debt here, so I'm going to go quiet for a minute or so while I try and get back on top of myself. Okay, 3 minutes left. Quarter of the way to go. After this bit, all we've got is the cool down. Does someone mention sweets? Not just yet. A couple more minutes, and we can go raid the pick and mix. Yeah, and this will feel quite, it should be feeling quite demanding now. You know, 18 explosive sprints, and we're coming to the end of a 12-minute block of sweet spot. That's a serious workout. I'm not sure what the TSS or this session will be offhand, but you can obviously check it once you've completed it. But this is certainly a really efficient, smart way to train on a Wednesday evening. So 53 minutes on the turbo on Zwift, and you're going to really make some gains. So after today you can expect to be more powerful. So I'm not saying after one session, but over time, guys, this factor this session into your training regime, and you should be a more powerful athlete, able to make those surges and accelerations more efficiently, and be able to absorb that effort better, but also just an all-round fitter bike rider, especially if you spend time talking through the session. Okay, minute left. Final minute. And just because it's towards the end of the effort, no, don't neglect it now. I always say every minute is of equal importance. So keep your composure, keep it smooth, right the way to the end of the effort. So 40 seconds left. We've done almost 50 minutes of riding. Don't throw it away in the last couple. Now you should feel stress all over your legs, so your quads, hamstrings, your calves, your glutes. It's a real all-round leg effort, this is. You know, recruiting lots of muscle fibers. Okay guys, there's the beacon. Okay, good job. Cool down. Cool down. Good job everyone. Wow. So the start of that session was our real top end explosive element. So we come into the session with a bang. We come in swinging, and we've kind of just ridden off into the sunset there, under the radar, just ridden off into the sunset. But that cumulative effect of those efforts coupled with the sweet spot, that's giving you massive stress on your body. So if you're sat there now and your legs are really sore, or when you're lying in bed later or going to work and your legs are hurting, that's a good thing, that's a positive. So we've got Gray on there trying to tease me, saying I'm not even sure his legs are working. So am I really sat on a turbo, or am I just sat on my sofa just nodding my head a little bit? I can assure you I'm not that good an actor. I could not look this tired if I was sat on a sofa. This is not an act. This is for real. So yeah guys, 3.5 minutes left. Cool down. Good effort. So the recovery process starts now, guys. So we're pedaling nice and easy now, nice light gear, shouldn't be causing too much stress for you. We're just getting rid of some of the lactic acid in your legs. So start that recycling process. Get your legs moving the lactic, get the blood flowing back to your legs. And then off the turbo then, you can start the recovery process by rehydrating. So as soon as you get off the turbo, big drink, maybe a protein shake is what I'll do. Or if you haven't had dinner yet, get a good meal down. Lots of protein, lots of carbohydrates, to replenish those glycogen stores. Protein obviously to build, repair your muscles, and all your vitamins and all that type of stuff is all equally important. So a good well-rounded meal or recovery shake of whatever your preference is, it's all good stuff. And again, you can sit back, safe in the knowledge that you've worked really hard today, a really hard quality session, but you're going to reap a lot of gains, a lot of benefits from it. And again, at Rowe & King, that's what we're all about really, is training smartly, not necessarily more. Is a lot of people can go out, a lot of people do go out and just ride for a long time and ride quite hard and pressing all the time. But maybe doing a lot of riding in terms of volume, in terms of quality. I'd argue there's much better ways to spend your time on a bike if your goal is to become a better cyclist. If it's purely the enjoyment factor, then crack on and do what you do. All those guys saying thanks for the session, absolutely more than welcome. Good to have you, and we'll be back same time next week, 7:45 every Wednesday. That's Workout Wednesday with Matt Rowe, 7:45 GMT every week. No worries, John. Oh. So yeah, make sure you rehydrate, refuel, get a shower, and chill out. Give yourself some downtime, because you've earned it. I certainly have, I think. That's the thing with these sessions in workout mode. There's no way to cheat. You're in it with the rest of us, and because we're all in it together, we can see a sea of riders. So that's our peloton. I think it gives you motivation. It certainly gives me motivation to keep digging in, because we're all in together as a group. Okay, 18 seconds left. It's nice and easy. Literally, you can't pedal too slowly here. Just tickle those pedals over, nice and light. Hopefully your legs will be feeling a bit better now than they did 5 minutes ago. A great session, everyone. Thanks for joining. See you next week.